Hi, my name is Katie Weatherup and I'm a shamanic practitioner, and I'm really excited about this month's $25 healing. And so the work is about getting your heart and your mind and your instincts all playing for the same team. So one of the visions that the guides often offer to me as a metaphor is, imagine that you were with a group of people and you all were going on this expedition in the desert, and you had the camels all loaded up and you get all of your supplies ready and everybody mounts their camel, and then you're like, tally ho, and 3 different leaders begin leading the group in 3 different directions, absolutely sure that they are the leader of the group and all will fall in behind them and follow them. And as you can imagine, if you have this tendency to have different parts of you, leading the charge for different agendas, you can end up really dissipating your efforts, really not being able to create a destiny path that you want, and the flow that you want, and the movement that you want. And so you really want to get these parts on the same page. And one of the things I think is really important is the heart and the mind balance. For the purposes of this healing, we're going to talk about the mind as the solar plexus. Now, the mind has all sorts of different aspects, but this is the part of the mind that deals with identity, the expression of your individuality, your boundaries, your sense of self, your ego, your idea of what works for you and what doesn't, all the really like structured things that are the purpose of the mind. And then there's the heart. And a lot of times the heart and the mind end up having an argument, because the heart just wants to love. The heart loves everybody. And the ego or the mind says, yeah, but not everybody is a really good idea to have in your life. This person agreed to be in a monogamous relationship and then, slept with a bunch of other people, or this person stole my stuff, or this person, did something that really didn't work for me. Stupid heart, you shouldn't be loving those people. And so the mind tries to armor up the heart, and then there's all this heartache because the organizing principle of love gets constrained, and it can be really messy. And both parts have really beautiful, valuable things to say. And so what I try to do is allow my heart to move and celebrate connection and just love whoever it's going to love. And then I try to use my mind to make choices that are holistic for me. So I'm not meeting the heart's need for connection in a particular form of experience at the expense of the rest of me. And then you add in the sacral chakra, the instincts. Now, the sacral chakra does a lot of things, and when it's vibrating our passion and our sensuality and our creativity, that's great. But when our instincts get activated, it's running the fear, the world isn't safe, you have to, protect yourself. And the instincts ideas about how we stay safe are back for cave people. So it's about, however crazy the tribe is, comply with what they want, because you'll die if they throw you out. So if you have a really dysfunctional family of origin, your instincts will still tell you, make these people happy no matter how crazy they are. Whereas a modern therapist or friends that are supportive and more aligned for you might say, you might want to limit contact with your family of origin because they're addicted to a bunch of things, and verbally abusive, and this probably isn't the most conducive environment, but your instincts aren't caught up. Your instincts will perceive danger where there is no threat, perceive enemies where there are no enemies. And when those are running the show, what happens is these 2 places, the heart that just wants to love and connect, and the instincts that are like, the world is a dangerous place, watch out, anybody could hurt you, be on your guard all the time, are really conflicting principles. And the solar plexus, the mind principle of energy, sits right in the middle. And what happens if you aren't having a really clear, healthy, balanced solar plexus is, instead of it being the benevolent committee chair who says all the needs of my being are important, how do I find a balanced path that honors all of them, the mind gets jerked around to whoever's yelling the loudest. So you've been in a situation where the squeaky wheel gets the oil, the person screaming the loudest gets all the attention. And the tricky thing about the mind is there's that phrase, don't believe everything you think. And what happens is the mind can rationalize anything. And so if the heart's like, I want to connect with this romantic partner, I'm telling you, and a lot of times the instincts get in on that, because where we have really strong sexual attraction, it relates to biological reproduction. It's like this person has enough genetic diversity that our children would be likely to survive. Even if you don't plan to have children, the instincts are really insidious, running in the background of, really trying to find the best mate, because, that's the people that survived all these generations back. We have this whole heritage of people who, regardless of how, not on the side of personal happiness the mate was, if you mated with someone who was genetically a really good match for you, your children tended to survive. So, the mind can rationalize crazy things about what you could work with in relationship if the heart wants to connect and the instincts are saying, hey, this is a good candidate on the sexual level. Or if your instincts are telling you I won't be safe without a provider protector. Even if you're an independent woman who successfully earns her own money, the instincts, are still going to try to get you to hook up with the most effective provider protector you can possibly find. So, and the mind is very good at rationalizing. We live in a world where we learn a lot of tools for working with the mind and less for working with our emotions and our feelings and our energetics. And so a lot of times we believe our fears, like the fear of the instincts is deeply influencing our thinking, and yet we believe we're being perfectly rational. Or the heart's desire to connect is deeply influencing how we move, and yet we rationalize it. Like the mind is so good at rationalization, and it's not necessarily the best way to drive your life, where the mind is responding to whatever is the loudest as far as the adjacent chakras, and then implementing the idea of how to move forward. And so what I really want to provide in this healing is a new harmonizing between those three chakras to help you to be able to move forward in a way where you're not believing things that aren't true, where you're not rationalizing paths that aren't the best for you, and the opportunity is to really honor all of these chakras, the heart chakra, the solar plexus, the sacral, but provide them all with a measure of adult supervision so they aren't completely running the show, so they aren't trying to take you down the path that they're utterly convinced is good for them without checking in with all of you, all the layers of who you are, all the aspects. And so bringing these into a different relationship, energetically I'll go in and introduce the chakras to each other and say, hey, how's about you guys work as a team? And a number of other things. So there'll be an MP3 that helps you more with these concepts, as well as, the actual energetic work and a guided journey you can work with. So if this resonates for you, I hope that you'll sign up and be part of this. Again, my name is Katie Weatherup, and my website is handsoverheart.com. And thank you so much for taking the time to listen.